I think it's important to have transparency with whatever you're doing. We've taken over this association. I think that the development is not what it should be. There is a template, a global template for how rugby should be run, actually how any association should be run. And what we want to do is to bring all the stakeholders in. This is why we've got players, we've got club owners, we've got everybody who's involved in rugby. We're listening to their points of view. We have put everything out there on the internet so that people can actually respond on the internet. We've been doing this for a while, and today is the culmination of, I guess, weeks of investigation and so on and so forth. From here, we'll come up with a blueprint, and the blueprint will then determine exactly how rugby should be run, how team owners should run their clubs, how the association, the regional association should operate, and have a template that we can now go back to capital, sponsors, as we will call them. I say capital, people who control money, and say, this is the vehicle that you should put your money behind to promote your product. If we're able to be successful with that, that's what we did with football. It's not going out and simply begging for money. It's getting out there and saying, this is who we are. We have an audience. We have a presence. This is our blueprint for developing. If you invest in this sport, this is what you're going to get back. And hopefully the marriage will take place. Players, player contract, Medicare, team owners, finance, managing the league. We've broken it right down to the very basics. And hopefully, after this session here that we're having now, it'll be very possible for us to come out with the blueprint before the end of September. And we'll then use that as a basis to operate and take rugby for the rest of our tenure. I think it's already happened. We've changed the management style. We have everybody involved, as you can see. There isn't an issue of one person being in control. We are trying to bring the culture that is rugby. Rugby is a 15-man-a-side game. We play sevens, we play tens, but 15-man-a-side game in which you have to rely on your brother. You can't look around sometimes like in football and say, oh, pass the ball there. It's a game of brotherhood and togetherness, a game of discipline, a game of which planning is very, very important, and we have a management style that is the same. You're here and you've spoken to the other members of this board. That's the way. If you hadn't pulled me, I wouldn't even have come. We are trying to incorporate and let everybody know that they have an interest. We are prepared to listen to them. We are prepared to take their concerns. So that first side has happened. Now we're putting structure into place. We've already been to the governing body in Ireland. We are dealing with the Africa governing body at the same time. We're letting sponsors know that if last year you gave us this and got that, we are moving professional now, just like we did in football. We have value, and that value must be equated both sides. It must be win-win. So the culture has changed. And in the first phase of the culture changing, we're very, very happy about that. I think it is, and I'm sorry that we didn't participate in the Commonwealth. I guess the previous regime didn't see it prudent to work it well. I don't think they went through qualification for the Olympics, and I'm very sad about that. I played rugby at the very highest level, and there are lots of people like myself who played in Europe, who played in South Africa, who would form the basis of the national team. I don't know why that was never taken into consideration. Whilst we develop it here, getting into rugby at schools, touch rugby, beach rugby, and slowly build it up. It's a game that you just don't learn overnight. It's a game that requires a completely different mental preparation, how you train, how you eat, your fitness level, your psyche levels. So it's something that's going to take time. But we have enough players who are playing at a very high level abroad. There are players who played even higher than myself. People like Saki is back in Ghana now, who we say, look, come and get involved in helping us, not play, but maybe helping us organize, so that we can actually turn around to the guys as well abroad and say, look, you are currently playing this level abroad, you become our foreign Black Eagles. And therefore we can compete from next year if we are properly organized as an association. Okay.